After 3 intense seasons, Invincible is gearing up for some major changes, especially when it comes to Mark Grayson's path. Series creator Robert Kirkman recently teased what fans can expect in Season 4, and honestly, it sounds like things are only going to get darker and more complicated for our main hero. If Season 3 gave us a taste of Mark's internal conflict, then Season 4 looks like it's going to plunge him straight into the heart of it. At the end of Season 3, Mark and Adam Eve managed to take down Conquest, a villain so brutal that Mark genuinely believes he killed him in their final clash. What makes this ending particularly heavy is Mark's conversation with his younger brother Oliver. Sitting beside Oliver's hospital bed, still shaken from the fight, Mark admits that his brother was right about one thing: sometimes you really do have to kill villains when you have the chance. And in that moment, Mark doesn't just say it, he promises to act on it if anyone dares to hurt his family again. That mindset shift is huge. Speaking to Deadline, Kirkman opened up about how Oliver's influence is becoming more and more important in Mark's life, and why that's something fans should be concerned about moving forward. According to Kirkman, one of the core themes of Season 2 was Mark wrestling with the fear of becoming like his father, Omni-Man. Bringing Oliver into the story only made those fears more complicated, because Oliver is essentially a mirror. He's got the same father as Mark, but he grew up in a completely different environment, on an alien planet with a totally different perspective on power and morality. So when Mark interacts with Oliver, it's not just sibling bonding, it's like he's talking to a version of himself that isn't bound by Earth's values. And that contrast forces Mark to question a lot. Throughout Season 3, Oliver says some extremely blunt things about justice and killing enemies, and even though Mark initially pushes back, he slowly starts to realize that he might agree with more of it than he wants to admit. That shift becomes very clear by the end of the season. While early on, Mark would never have considered Oliver's approach, the events surrounding Conquest's attack seem to break something in him. He's no longer holding on to the same idealistic version of being a hero, and as Kirkman put it, fans should be worried about where Mark's headed in Season 4 and beyond. The concern only deepens with the confirmed arrival of Thrag, the terrifying leader of the Viltramites. Kirkman confirmed Thrag has already been cast and will be a big part of the next season. For fans who have been asking, when are we going to get more Viltramite stuff? Season 4 is going to deliver in a big way. Season 2 gave us Anissa's arc and more insight into Nolan's past. Season 3 expanded on Conquest, Nolan again, and Alan's space storyline. But now, Season 4 is set to take all of that and turn the intensity way up. So, if you're a fan of the Viltramite lore, it looks like your patience is about to pay off. And with that escalation, Mark's darker instincts are going to be tested. He's already shown glimpses of this in Season 3. Remember how close he came to killing Angstrom Levy in Episode 7? That wasn't the calculated response of someone trying to talk things out. That was raw emotion and fury. And even though he didn't succeed in killing Levy, he believes he killed Conquest, when in reality, Cecil secretly locked Conquest away in a hidden GDA facility. So with all that trauma building up, 2 catastrophic fights back-to-back and no time to recover, it's not surprising that Mark is fed up with giving villains another chance. He's ready to protect his family at all costs, even if that means breaking the very ideals he once stood for. He's not thinking like a superhero anymore, he's thinking like a soldier, or worse, like a Viltramite. This sets up a lot of tension for Season 4. As Mark becomes more ruthless, he's not just risking his moral compass, he's risking the trust of his allies too. It could put him at odds with people like Cecil or even Eve, who might not agree with this new hardline approach. But for Mark, the promise he made to Oliver is something he's determined to keep, no matter the cost. And speaking of threats, there's another returning character who's about to shake things up: Battlebeast. Fans of the show remember him as the brutal warrior who humiliated Mark back in Season 1. Since then, his story has continued in the background. We last saw him during a Viltramite prison break, where he helped Alan and Nolan before getting lost in space during a fierce fight. Season 3 ended with him being discovered frozen in space by a group of alien scavengers who bring him aboard their ship. Now, co-showrunner Simon Rasiopa has hinted that Battlebeast will be a big player in Season 4, and he's not coming back quietly. According to Rasiopa, Battlebeast is still driven by one simple desire: to find strong opponents and fight them to the death. He doesn't care about politics or sides. He only wants worthy battles. That mindset is what makes him such a wild card. He'll fight for whoever can give him the challenge he craves, even if that means switching sides. Battlebeast's return adds another unpredictable element to an already volatile season. He hates the Viltramites for capturing him, so he's more than willing to go to war with them. That could make him a powerful, if unreliable, ally for the coalition of planets. But since he's not loyal to anyone, there's no telling when he'll change course. He's like a nuclear bomb waiting to go off. You just hope it goes off in the right direction. But it's not just Battlebeast shaking things up. Season 4 is also expected to explore a new storyline involving Damien Darkblood, an arc that wasn't in the comics. That alone hints at how the showrunners are expanding and evolving the narrative. But even with all these changes, Rasiopa made one thing clear in a recent interview: Invincible isn't looking to become a gimmicky show. When asked whether the series might take creative detours like musical episodes or black and white installments, Rasiopa firmly said no. That's not what Invincible is. He and Kirkman both agree that the show's strength lies in its core identity, balancing brutal action with emotional depth. That's the formula they want to stick with. They might play with structure here and there, like moving around title cards or episode codas, but the show isn't going to turn into a playground of experimental formats. And honestly, that's a good thing. Some shows benefit from quirky episode formats, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer or The Sopranos, but Invincible isn't built for that. It thrives when it sticks to its emotional gut punches and brutal storytelling. That's exactly what made the Season 3 finale so powerful. It was non-stop action, but it still had heart. Watching Mark and Eve stand together, broken but defiant, was a reminder that this show knows how to do emotional stakes and epic battles without losing its focus. So, where does that leave us heading into Season 4? In a pretty intense spot. Mark is harder, more battle-worn, and leaning into the dangerous side of his identity. Battlebeast is back in the mix, likely thirsting for blood. Thrag, the most powerful Viltramite of all, is about to arrive. And the showrunners are committed to doubling down on everything that made the first 3 seasons hit so hard. It's clear that Invincible isn't interested in reinventing the wheel. It's not chasing flashy trends or one-off gimmicks. Instead, it's digging deeper into what it already does best: intense storytelling with real emotional weight. And with everything we've seen so far, Season 4 might just be the darkest, most gripping chapter yet. And that wraps up everything I've got on Invincible Season 4 for now. If you're curious to explore more about this or other upcoming shows and movies, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you're always in the loop. I'll be bringing you all the latest updates on your favorite titles, so stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.